If I can get it done tomorrow, I'll do
Is
it.
it? Okay, thanks for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question about all this. Why are the city limits including so much farmland in the first place? I mean, we have had nothing but headaches about, so why are city limits where they are?
And the asinine part is ease. They stop a party.
Right, okay.
The
That's my
business-
point. What was the...
I can't answer that.
Well, I tell you,
Take
I'd
somebody
just
who
love to have you pull that corporation line in, and I wouldn't be in the city limits of my I just love,
Well,
you
you know-
have any idea how much less the
Oh,
tax would be
yeah.
in my
Well,
house? And I just feel
that's why I'm
if I wasn't
I couldn't
inside the city
understand that.
corporation.
Is it because of the tax thing? or-
You know, well, nobody had built on East Highway 20 for years until the 60s, I think.
Until what?
Until the 60s, maybe. Is that when Marjo's and those guys built up there?
68 or 69.
Yeah. So, the corporate limits were set before that, obviously. And they probably would have said yes, but they waited and didn't try to annex to the east. Now, the smart thing to do would be to annex all the way out to the intersection.
196.
All the
Which
way
will
to
be-
196
Will
and
be
then
Highway
north.
71. yeah.
But boy, did they
70
object
20.
when that was mentioned.
Well, you know, by the same token, we took a look at properties around Lakeview when they were talking about going around the lake, and they were all concerned about this, that, and the other, and had this big fight, and they brought in what they call the statewide city development board. And what it came down to is it actually cost them $7.97 per property per month, which was exactly the amount that they saved on utilities, which were served inside the city limits. So they were like, okay, no difference. But you have to break each piece of property down and take a look at it, so, which is what we did with 21 of them, so. Changed the corporate limit.
You own property out there and they don't want to...
I don't know that I've ever heard of a contraction scenario.
Well, they ran them all the way out
Well,
there.
they-
Annexation
my property,
scenario.
yeah.
And you can have voluntary or involuntary, so, yeah.
Well,
But as far as a contraction,
Yet I still pay a surfee.
I don't know that I have
in
ever
the city.
ran into a contraction.
So,
So you want to know why you pay the fees and the people?
no, I'm just saying, I just don't understand why if it's agricultural and it's, people are planting crops out there, I'm not sure why the city limits are that far out there.
They took it clear out to 1 mile
But,
west.
yeah, I know.
I have no idea why that happened.
But the same token, if you drive by or through some of these other towns throughout the whole state of Iowa, you're out there sometimes a mile, mile and a half, and the city limits are out there.
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
But our
It doesn't happen that
forefathers
way
should
where
have
I'm
had
from.
the ingenuity to do that before. And when they extended our utilities out, clear out east there, they just gave them, they just put them out there.
Well, that's my point,
Without-
they did it
They
that
should
way.
have said,
but
okay.
They won't take them to mine.
No
If
guns,
you
no
want-
glory,
So,
right?
And some of the people within the city limits had to furnish their own utility, build it out there, and that's not right. But rather than let this go on, I think this is the time to correct it.
Yeah.
I really do.
I do too.
So, since we actually had a motion at the last meeting to wait until the July meeting, I guess we get to meet again in July to decide what to do about this. And, yeah, once again, I would,
Do we have to go by that?
well, it's up to you. That's what you wanted to do last time.
Well,
He was vote to reconsider.
yeah.
Great line.
That's somebody who was in favor of the motion to
Probably the person who made the motion.
I did. I made the time limit motion.
Okay.
I think we pretty well agree with what should be done.
What do you want to do with the golf course? Do you want to put it in residential or ignore it?
I'm going to throw it right out here. I walked it. I walked the west from Highway 20. I walked all and south. I walked all of the south border. And I've got pictures here. I talked to Brian and Jackie Mailer. I talked to Brian and Karen Menser in regards to their problem going on. My consensus is we rezone as the map. You know, we sit here, we read this, we talk about it. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know if we're going to be alive in an hour. I think we got to do some planning. You know, I've been next door to Matt's Shoes for 8 years.
Waiting for something to happen.
And I've heard from the console, we have no money, I hear this, I hear that. Terry had some good words tonight for me in regards to that gentleman from Wyoming that bought it at a tax sale. I was born and raised in this town. Maybe I'm overthrowing the apple cart here. I'm tired of hearing we don't have no money when we have little towns that are doing streetscapes. I'm tired of hearing this and that and the other stuff, and I will let you do this. You know, think about the future, people. You know, I made a commitment here. Me and my wife made a big commitment here. There's not a lot of 50-year-olds left in this town. I think we got a good thing going. And I think we're the people here that can start the ball rolling again. And my feelings are, if we voted tonight, I would vote for total rezoning. The whole thing like the map.
Well, it's that not in my backyard thing, and
Yeah,
nobody told me that I could ask for my area to be zoned, because it said right there that you don't zone for any individual or for any individual to make a profit off of it. You zone and hope that you're doing planning for a community. So I still fail to see the harm. Dorothy Waddell couldn't see any harm in zoning her agriculture residential, because she said, great, if somebody wants to build a house, that's fantastic. I think that's wonderful. The school didn't have any problem with rezoning theirs. It was just, you know, I don't understand.
So I would like to go back to an issue that was brought up. Perhaps we need to do a little more communication in some way, and try to get it out there of what we're trying to do. Because I have a feeling that some people's perceptions of what the Planning and Zoning Commission is trying to do involves conspiracy theories and wacky things that are not.
That's true.
That I never, and so we're not doing a good enough job apparently, and I'm not sure how to do that. I guess I'm asking.
But I think George and Bonnie know what we're trying to do. I mean, that's our main area right now.
And yeah, and that's great, but they're only one.
Yeah, for future
property
use,
owner.
that's probably
And
true.
so, you know, I go back to, I can't believe that there aren't more people in this town that want to see the town come out of this death spiralism. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I've only been here 5 years, but it's not nearly what it used to be, is that right?
Yes.
And so, you know, I know what we've been, at least what I think we've been doing all this time that I've been on the council, or on the zoning committee, is try to come up with ways to get our town to progress and to be progressive and to grow back into something that it maybe even used to be even better. And I don't, nobody else comes up with any suggestions.
You know, we're doing, I
But
think,
us?
even us and the consul and everything, all we're doing is stamping out little fires. You know, I guess one thing is when my wife and I came down and established our business downtown, and I know Shirley will say this, every time I go to a meeting, Shirley, what's Sac City's plan? Well, we don't have one, Steve. Laura, what's Sac City's plan? Do we have a 5-year plan? No. Barb and Larry Blaze are good friends of ours. I asked Barb, do we have a plan? Steve, we can't get through what we're doing now. I go along with you. You know, we need to start somewhere, and maybe this is a place where we start and say, hey, we're trying to be progressive enough to establish
Yes, and
a
I
plan.
agree, Steve, but it's just like the downtown thing. We got
Yeah.
shot down on that. I mean, and nobody came back with any other suggestions. That was just our way of trying to get
Right.
something to go
That's right.
and get some dialogue going, and all we did was, oh man. And then the city, of course, you know, and so again, we can't do anything. We can
No.
propose this,
Propose it to the
and if the
council.
city doesn't go with that again,